Imagine building something you dreamed about. You put your money into it, your time into it, your name on it. Your heart is in it. Your customers are coming through the doors. You're doing what everybody tells entrepreneurs to do. Bet on yourself. And then in a matter of seconds, everything changes. Now, here's the question I want you to think about tonight. How much can happen to your dream before you decide the dream costs too much? Because, baby, tonight we're talking to a woman who had every reason in the world to walk away. She built a restaurant. And on what should have been a beautiful Easter Sunday, something happened inside that restaurant that could have ended the business and could have ended her life. Lives were forever changed. The place that represented her dream became connected to one of the most traumatic moments of her life. But somehow, the dream survived. Couch crew, I want you to answer something for me in the comments. Could you go back to the dream after the dream became the place where you experienced your greatest trauma? Place yes or no in the chat. Because tonight, we're talking about what happens when entrepreneurship stops being cute, when it's not the logo, the grand opening, the social media post, or everybody yelling, support Black businesses. What happens when keeping the business means you have to fight for yourself first? Oh, we're going somewhere tonight. Tag your people in the comments so they can join the conversation. Tonight's episode is brought to you by the Closet Experience Boutique. Ladies, are you looking for the hottest fashions and accessories? Well, look no further. The Closet Experience has you covered. Shop theclosetexperience.com and save 10% off with code podcast. That's PODCAST. Don't just shop the boutique, experience it. The Closet Experience Boutique. What's in your closet? Welcome to the I Am Counting Skills podcast. And if this is your first time joining me, welcome to the Blue Velvet Couch. And to my couch crew, you already know what it do over here on this Monday, this fabulous Monday night. Tonight, we're continuing our Black Business Month series, but we're looking at entrepreneurship from a side that doesn't always make the business seminars. We're talking about the human being behind the business. Because sometimes we celebrate the ribbon cutting without knowing what it took for somebody to keep those doors open. Throughout this series, we've been talking about Black entrepreneurship, ownership, access, community, and building ecosystems. But there's another piece to entrepreneurship that doesn't get discussed enough. And that word that I'm talking about is endurance. Everybody wants to know how you started the business. What's your revenue? How did you get customers? How did you scale the business? But sometimes the real question is, what happened that almost made you quit? And what made you get up the next morning and keep going anyway? Tonight, we're having that conversation. And some of you probably know who's sitting right here on this blue velvet couch. Some of you don't, but that's okay because I'm about to introduce her. Now listen, when you're going to have a conversation about resilience, you don't need somebody who read about resilience. You need somebody who has lived it. Chef Erica Fizer, better known as Chef E, is a chef, restaurateur, wife, mother, entrepreneur, whose relationship with food started long before there was ever a restaurant attached to her name. She grew up the oldest of 7 siblings. Her grandmother was a cook. But eventually, young Erica found herself having to step up into the kitchen and figure some things out. Isn't it funny how sometimes what feels like responsibility when you're young turns out to be preparation for something you can't even see yet? She learned to take what she had, put ingredients together, get creative, just to feed people. Eventually, that journey would take her from working in management at Captain D's to catering to entrepreneurship and ultimately into the restaurant business. Through an opportunity involving entrepreneur Will Radford, I can't get his name out, and the local distro, Chef E would eventually become part of what Nashville came to know as Roasted Salem Town. Her philosophy was simple. Food should feel like home. But on Easter Sunday in 2024, home would suddenly begin to feel some way different. Gunfire erupted and roasted. One person lost their life. Multiple people were injured, and Chef E herself was shot. Now, somebody watching might think that's where the story ends. But if you thought that was the ending, she wouldn't be sitting here on the blue velvet couch tonight. To God be the glory. Y'all, that deserves an amen. She is sitting right here on the blue velvet couch tonight. Chef E, when I think about your testimony, all I keep hearing in my head is Marvin Sapp singing, "Never would have made it." That's a true testimony. You are a true testament of what it looks like to have resilience throughout it all. And y'all, I'm gonna be cool through this. Y'all, and I rarely get emotional, but just as I was going through and revisiting this story and just thinking about you, I just kept thinking to myself, oh, wow. You know, you look at somebody and you see somebody keep going and going and going, but you don't know their story. And for some reason, when I was working on your episode and thinking about you, I just had to just keep playing. Marvin's like, I don't know what was taking over me, but it was like me and Marvin Sapp was having a moment on your behalf. And when I say I just went into like and it's rare that people get me like this, but I don't know what it is. I just, y'all, anybody know me know, I don't play about this kind of stuff. And when I say, it's like something was coming over me, and just me and Marvin Sapp, I was just like, and then today I wore this shirt in honor of you, just a testimony, a walking testimony. I was like, sometimes we don't know who we're in the midst of, who we have the pleasure of looking up to and seeing. And I'm gonna make it through this interview, but it's something. And I didn't want to tell you before. It was just like, I don't know. I was up probably about 45 minutes and just probably a little bit longer than that, and just kept playing Marvin Sapp. I don't know why. I don't know if that's your favorite. I don't know, but it just kept, I just had my phone out while I was working on your episode and just kept playing it. I don't know what that was that was coming through me, but that's all I kept hearing. And I just kept saying, you just never know. I just kept telling myself, you just never know what somebody is going through and how they made it over to the other side of glory. Oh, y'all. And that's why, y'all, I don't take it lightly that she's sitting over here on this couch. She survived. She survived that, man. She survived trauma. She survived watching everything she built from that scene. Just survival. But baby, she kept going. And tonight, I don't want to just talk to Chef E. I want to talk to Erica, the human being. That's where this conversation is going to go. Okay, y'all. Let me get myself together. Y'all, I want y'all in the chat to put your hands together. Go ahead. Y'all know that energy that we give over here. Put those hand clap emojis in there for Chef E. And welcome her to the couch. Welcome her. Y'all, I got my braces on today. Look, every week, I don't know when I get home at night, what be happening? Some weeks I can find my braces on. I don't know. I just guess I go in the house style. Sure, can't figure out where I put stuff. But this week, my braces are back. Ooh, jiggling, baby. I'm going to put my arm on that. Look, I get y'all some little light commentary. Because it's not going to be, this is going to be good, y'all. Y'all, this right here. You ready to help the people? I always ask the people, you ready to help the people, because that's what we're here to share some life and light.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here.
Got me crying early.
Look, that's why I was trying not to, but I told myself, I said, I ain't gonna talk, but I just had to tell you that I don't know. I just had my phone and I just kept playing Marvin Sapp. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's rare that, I have had conversations that songs come to mind, but this one, when I say my phone was like on replay, I was like, I couldn't understand why, and I was just like, I kept feeling something. I can't even articulate it to you. It was just like, I don't know, and I just kept sitting trying to work on the episode, and I just kept just hearing Martin. I just kept playing it, and I just had it on repeat. And it was just like, I don't know. And I still can't articulate that feeling. I guess I was in the moment of just thinking about your story, and it's just, but I want to go. Let's go before that. Chef E. Everybody sees the Chef E now. They see the restaurant, they see the food, and they see the entrepreneur. But before anybody ever called you Chef E, there was Erica.
Right.
The oldest of 7 children. I get that right?
Correct.
Okay. Who learned how to make something happen in their kitchen. When you look at that little girl now, what do you realize she was learning about survival, responsibility, and leadership at that young age?
I mean, that anything is possible.
Yes.
I didn't look at like I couldn't do anything. So, I mean, I've carried that on to my adult life, but I always knew I could do whatever I wanted to do or whatever I needed to do to get by for that moment.
I like that. Was all. So it almost seems like you've always been in like a survival mode, like I gotta figure things out.
Yeah, literally all my life. So what I've read recently is called trauma intelligence.
Trauma intelligence.
And that's where you have, the ability to withstand trauma on another level than most people, which is why something like that couldn't take me out, because I respond to it differently. And I process it differently because I've always had trauma. I always had adversities. So, a lot of people still are just like, how are you okay? Well, how am I not? Is how I look at it.
So when you say you've always had adversity, how was your upbringing?
Drug addict mother, at home by herself. None to eat type, different. I mean, I was around during the crack epidemic. So
that would explain. Okay.
I'm a statistic, which is something I meant to share with you before I got here so you can see. But I did a motivational speech in McMinnville, and before I went, I wrote down all my statistics at growing up, and most of my statistics was epidemics at that moment: teen pregnancy, drug addicted parent, homelessness, overcrowdingness, lack of food, lack of guidance, mother not around. I was several statistics at once, and they were all epidemics at the same time.
Oh, wow.
So
that speaks to what you were just saying. Okay.
Yeah.
That's giving me some insight now. Wow. That okay. Well, I was just thinking
so it goes
about
deeper.
because I was going to say because I was about to say that's going way. That helps explain that why you have that endurance.
Exactly. So that's why I took it that far, because that's why I am who I am, and that's why anything happens, it may look like I'm just this superwoman, and I am, but I still go through what other people go through. I just process it differently, which allows me to keep moving.
That makes sense. I want to talk about, like I said, we're going to start at the very beginning. You were in management at Captain D's, and then you eventually moved into catering. That business was called, was it Status Catering? Do I have that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So ultimately, I was like a shift leader. This is when I was about 18.
Okay.
So I guess, you probably got that information from, some of my past stuff. But I was pretty much explaining that I've been in food service since I started working.
Okay, since you started working.
So, not saying, the food service in order to have a restaurant, but that's just what I've always done.
Okay.
Because I liked food, I like to cook and all that. So, I started, I think I worked at like Arby's, Captain D's, went from there on to serving tables, and from serving tables to bartending. And from bartending, I always knew I could cook, and I was gonna, sell food at some point, and then I began to sell food out my home and out my trunk. I think a masterpiece.
I always say, baby, they say my word. I think you best to, look, I gave it I call it the masterpiece. You best to pen it is what I call it.
Masterpiece is one of my idols. Yes. And one of the things is, he sold it out the trunk.
Yep.
You
had to get it
and I did food like that. I would ride around. I'm like, these people ain't about to, you can buy this food from a stranger. I'm just pulling up, and I'm opening that box up like, I want to buy some food. Sometimes I pull up somewhere and I have 50 plates. Somebody might buy 20. I'm going to feed the neighborhood type, or I'll just put it on Facebook. I got some food. I'm riding around out east. Or I would do it in my home, So that's where the cooking started. But I wasn't thinking about catering at that moment. Well, I would do food for family, but I would set it up so nice that people like, who catered, you know?
And then
they'd be like, and they'll come over to ask me. I'm like, oh, I don't cater. I just did it for her. And there was like too many parties where people like, how much? I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to keep letting this go. You know, so finally I started Status. But nobody in the in any past restaurants or anything knew that I could cook, because I was never giving nobody that. You wasn't gonna get, you know. I was a major bartender. I was a great server, but nobody was gonna get these recipes or just the effort that I want to put into what I'm gonna do when I begin to do the cooking.
That makes sense. You're like, let me hold on to this gem that I have. Y'all not gonna know this. I'm not giving it up, so y'all can create this and put your name on it. I like that. Yeah. So there may be people watching tonight who have a dream, but their paycheck has them in a chokehold. And believe me, I understand that. When you feel like I just can't walk away right now. I want to know what finally made you have the ability to say, you know what, I'm gonna bet on me. I'm just gonna step out there on faith.
So I technically have always betted on me. Like I said, when I was younger, I just always like had a level of confidence that I really couldn't explain. I would say that I'm blessed for sure with that. But to be technical, having a good supportive husband made that very possible. I know I would be doing this without him because the type of person I am, but he's made it where I was able to do it at the rate that I was able to do it. And so I want to say your question again.
For the person that's out there that has their, they have a job, you know, they're in that chokehold, but I can't quit. What made you finally say, you know, was it faith, determination? You know, for somebody to know, how can they really walk away? I always say, you got to get those finances in order and figure out how to walk away.
That's a fact. So so organizing your life, you know, working hard on your craft while you have your job, taking that money and putting it right back to the left, not really using that money that you're making, and getting to a point where you can just either quit or cut back. I mean, if you have to change your jobs to go for your passion for a job, I mean, maybe you got a career job, but it's not allowing you, go to a job that may not be your career.
That flexibility.
Because you can't leave your dreams on the table like that and your passion on the table. And them jobs will murder it.
Yes, they sure will, because they'll have you so worked that you can't even work on your own stuff. Yes, you can't even think about your own stuff. And I always tell people that faith doesn't always come with financial stability, but we still have to believe in ourselves. And like you said, that's good advice. You're going to put that money to the side, and like I always say, pay down those bills, so when you are able to, now you're in a better financial position.
And educating yourself the whole time. You might not be able to do what you want to do at that moment, but you should be able to be educating yourself, because that's free. YouTube University.
Baby,
YouTube University for sure.
Keita tell you, I'm sure. I come today we were talking about that. I said, I researched this and how to do this, da-da-da. I tell her all the time. I'm learning something all the time.
I open a restaurant.
Trying to figure out how to get this podcast up and going to the right people, what I need to do. It's a job in itself, but I have to do what I have to do.
That's a part of it.
Yes.
So your research, and that shows you how serious you are. So when it's time, you've been, you know, researched and learned what you need to learn for this time, because you're going to continue to research. But I mean, you got to prepare yourself in other areas more than just financially.
Oh, yes.
So your mental, your emotional intelligence.
Say. Yes.
So if your mental's not ready to not have as much money, because you may need to cut your hours or something like that, then you won't do it either. And then you got to make sure your mental's ready to be consistent.
Yep. And I was going to say that discipline, because baby, we'll love to start something. It's not, like I always tell people all the time, there's nothing wrong with starting something, but make sure before you quit that, my advice is before you quit that make sure this is something you want to, whatever it is that you want to do. Because you know, people have it looking easy. We look at social media, be like, oh, they got to go. Baby, but y'all don't know the sacrifices, if you have children, sometimes you're going to be missing out on opportunities. Being an entrepreneur doesn't automatically equal you have time to do this, and this. Until your business is at a level so where you can say, oh, such and such got this. I can delegate this. I can go to this. It doesn't stop from what I've seen. Unless, you know, it's rare that it happens where somebody just takes off like that.
Nobody's ever taken off. Even the people you probably thought took off. It was something they went through, whether it's childhood or something. Regardless, nobody takes off. So people do have to understand everything. People got to stay off social sites and lusting after what people got, because then you throw yourself off. It's not easy. And it ain't just because you see somebody blowing up, that was not a blow up. That was not a blow up.
Because they don't like to talk about what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We like to see, oh, I've made it. And that's why I think sometimes social media has done us a disservice. Like you look at it, it's like, okay, disservice when it comes to, let me clarify that. A disservice when it comes to entrepreneurship.
Oh, that's but even in life, no,
Well,
beyond entrepreneurship, you got people killing themselves and want to, do this and rob people because of what they got. It's a disservice to the mental, for real, if you don't know how to limit what you're looking at and how to love yourself and what you have. You got to appreciate yourself and what you got going on.
Yes, the love for you, because you're going to hear those screams, bet on yourself. This is how I got this. This is how I got that. But, okay, baby, nobody is telling you what happened when that bet is due, though. That's how, when that bet is due. You don't see when that bet is due, when they can't make the bills, when they didn't sell anything or no customers walk through their door. Nobody rarely, speaks on that.
And I do. And I try
and
to.
People need to.
I most definitely do, so people can understand. Like, I'll make a post. My post sometimes come at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's when I'm laying in bed, maybe doing some research, doing a little chat, GBT. Like, I do my work late night, and I'll make a post. But I'm doing that to let other people know that, what other people are going through. Because sometimes, some crazy way, we feel that we're okay when we find out we're not the only one. That's how we set up as humans.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Because you feel like I'm laughing because it's so true. Because sometimes I be like, why am I drowning over here by myself? And then I have a conversation. I'm like, girl, you going through that?
Okay. And then you get a little sense
of...
of...
It's not that you glad somebody else is going, but it's just like...
You thought you were getting picked on.
Yeah, I thought I was just getting picked on, beat up. Hell, I thought Clarissa Shields just knocked me out one day. Yeah. I said, now, damn it, if something else happened, excuse my language, but I was like, damn. Yeah. If I get knocked down, I be calling Keita like, I can't take it no more. If something else happened, and it's not even just with it's my life, and then I'm trying to put all this, and then she knows that I'm going to gripe, complain, I'm going to roll over on the floor, but I'm going to get back up, put my big girl drawers on, and I got to make it happen. But sometimes you just want to be like, ooh, and then you hear somebody else, girl, that happened to you. You be like, girl, let's pray about it together. Because you're like, but girl, I'm going through it too. But we ain't going to let it take us over. We got to figure this thing out called life.
And we're not gonna figure it out. We just gotta keep working it and learning what we learn, because then once you figure this out, something else come around.
Because life don't fight fair. I tell people life don't fight fair. I don't know how life, when the people be saying life be life. Baby, I always say life don't play fair. It don't fight fair.
They say love don't love nobody. No, life don't love nobody. Life do what it want to do.
Well, give me some on that, baby.
Life is gonna do what it gonna do.
And the older I get, the more I be like, oh, that's what the elders were trying to tell me.
Still to this day.
I'm gonna tell you to live a little longer. You gonna see, because you used to get that advice years ago from them elders, and you be like, okay, they know what they talking about. You live a little bit like, oh, that's what they were talking about. Oh, I see now. You live a little. Now I want to talk about, you had an opportunity with what's his name? Will.
Yes.
Will from Local Distro. How did that come about?
Long story short, I was working on a restaurant with some other people. My intuition is 1,000, and I do not ignore it. However, sometimes I try to make sure that I'm not going too fast with stuff, like cutting stuff off too fast. And I also know that I do not play. And sometimes I'm like, okay, give yourself, let me say the best way to put it was, I never wanted to do business a certain way.
Okay.
And one day I was like, well, maybe I have to do this to get to where I'm going. So therefore, when I was working on this other business with some other individuals, I kind of dealt with and seen some things that I wouldn't typically deal with. Nothing so major, but enough for me to say this is not a good move, for the combination of people. So I was like, working on this project about opening a restaurant with someone else, and just kind of noticed some things that I did not want. One thing about me, I'm not dealing with what I don't want to deal with. I don't care. And that's with people, that's with situations, that's with my establishment. I'm not going to sit on nobody's couch and do a podcast unless I think they have some substance. Literally, I'm just that type of person. And so I began to notice some things that I tried to ignore, thinking this is just a part of it because you got to do this to get there. And then one day a situation happened and I was like, I called my husband. I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling it. I ain't been feeling it. And I was disregarding my thoughts and my feelings due to trying to be a little bit more open-minded, the best way I could say that. He was like, well, don't do it. And I'm like, I'm not. And so I called the individual, let her know that I wasn't going to do it. But at that moment, I was like excited. Like I thought I was going to have me a restaurant. And I did pop-ups at Will Spot.
Yeah, because that's what I met you. Was out in the, I was going to say it was silver. I don't know. I might be making that. Was the tray was silver?
Yes, it was great. It was great.
See my brain.
You close. You did good.
See that brain be trying to. That's how I was patronizing you. Yeah. I remember. Yeah. Cause that's why I was like, that's why I think I knew. That's why the name Status Catering was stuck out to me.
And so I was doing pop-ups there, and pre-COVID. And so this restaurant situation was after COVID. So after like cutting them off and like not doing that, I was like, I gotta do something. We have been working on this for like a year. You know, just meeting up, trying to find places, trying to decide how we're gonna do it. I was like, I gotta do something. I'm like, I'm geeked up. But I took a week because it put me in a little funk for about a week because I had to make, to me, was one of the biggest decisions of my life. So about a week, I kind of stayed to myself and I was like, let me see what Will doing over there. Because I know the pandemic has shut down the pop-ups. And I did a couple after that, but I'm just like, I don't think Will's really doing anything over there because it also kind of threw the business off at the local distro. So I went over. I'm like,
honey, COVID, honey, had us all in a tizzy.
So I'm like, well, let me. I told my husband because I had already did a business plan for a restaurant before these last individuals, and it was before COVID, and COVID actually shut that one down. So, I still had this old business plan, and I was kind of using it with the people I was going to do the business with, but some told me to hold on to it, which I did. And so I'm like, I'm going to go talk to Will because I don't think he's doing much with the local distro because of COVID. And he pretty much was like, yeah, you got the keys today.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
I had $0 and 0 cents.
Ooh, honey,
I was
talking about favor.
And on Section 8. I literally had no money, but I don't know what made me. I said, I'm just going to go ask him, can I get this building? And, you know, let's be partners. Let me, you know, you own the building and I got the restaurant. He was like, yeah, he pretty much like, you want the keys today?
And what you said, yes, favor, honey.
I hope that nobody from the government watching this, but I took him little food stamps.
Wait. Don't discriminate yourself, honey.
They can't do nothing.
Look here, but I said, wait a minute now.
I ain't got nothing for him.
Oh, look.
I took my little rest of my little food stamps and bought a couple of items. And that's how I opened up Roasted. And so the name Roasted, a lot of people always want to know.
I was just, you know, when you just
that's gonna be the next question.
You know, that was my next question. So how did Roasted?
Roasted was roasted food.
Oh,
I wanted everything to be roasted. I just wanted something healthy for people because I'm in the gym hard, you know, and I'm just like, we don't have nothing healthy, you know, within the area where you can just kind of grab and go. And Roasted was roasted food, but you gotta have money to put out a new type of concept. And so people was coming. I mean, I even had a girl say, girl, you tricking me into eating good food. She was coming every day. I had like 10 different vegetables. So you get a roasted platter. You get your roasted meat and your roasted starch, and then you get your roasted vegetables. So I literally accumulated some people, and I'm like, but I need some money now. So then I started adding stuff that I didn't want to add, which is like hamburgers and quesadillas and things of that nature.
And that chicken.
And I had the chicken yet.
Oh, you had honey. I done rushed through it.
Honey butter wasn't there yet.
Okay.
Honey butter wasn't there yet. I had roasted chicken. I didn't fry anything.
Okay, she didn't fry nothing
at first. Then I got a little fried and I started doing fries and stuff like that. And then I was like, this shit, I gotta get this man some money at some point. Because mind you, I came in with no money. And I'm like, what people know me for? They know me for brunch. Duh. Let me just do brunch on Sundays to earn some money to help Roasted become Roasted. Did brunch? I started brunch on a Sunday because I got the building in August.
Okay.
By August, September, I feel like October, I'm like, we can't afford this. You know, I knew it in the beginning, but I need something to give. And I was like, let's just do a pop-up brunch at Roasted. Did a brunch. People came out. most money I had made since I've been in roasted. We were like, okay, let's do it every other Sunday. We did every other Sunday. After about the third Sunday, we was like, okay, let's add Saturday. We added Saturday because brunches are usually a weekend thing. And then it was so busy. I'm like, well, let's add Friday. And then finally was like, okay, we doing brunch all week. So that's why roasted is.
Because I used to come during the week with my husband, and it was the two for. Wait a minute, I don't remember the price, but
$2 for $45.
Look, I was gonna say it was 2 for something because me and Patrick, Patrick is my husband, and we used to come over. And I was like, it was 2 for something because we were coming. That's when he would get off. I'd be like, what time you getting out? Let's make it over there for their club. Let's come on over there and get this brunch. Yes. Because he worked not far from there. So, yes. So, I want to ask you this. How important is networking with people? Because a lot of time people like, people say they're not a people person. They want to do it their way. But I believe that you may have a skill set, but I do think it takes some networking to get your dream or your entrepreneur goal out there.
Well, who's going to support you if you're not networking? It's so important. I mean, people can act like they want to act funny all day long, but ultimately, that's how I am where I am. I started going to things that had nothing to do with food, but everybody need food. I got into the Black Chambers of Commerce. I would go to events. I done went in my car and passed out free burritos. Literally. What they had tonight? They had whatever club. I just ride down there and give out some food. Because I'm just trying to get my name out there. But literally, you have to network. That don't mean you got to be nobody. Networking is networking. That's not a friend.
And that's what I be trying to tell some people. Like, I don't want to do all of that. And I'm like, well, why? That's not. That's what's fake about it. It's like it's just a bunch of stuck up people in there. No, you're shaking hands. Yes, that's
why
fine,
you
but
worry
it's not.
About that?
You're not. You're just in there telling, hey, Sheffy, I'm Kiana Scales from the Closet Friends Boutique and the I Am Kiana Scales podcast. It's nice to meet you. I would love to have. I came to her station one day. I mean, we've been knowing each other, but I said, she forgot about me. Let me come in here and introduce myself. I'm coming to give me some good food. And I'm going to ask her, can I network with her and have her come over here on this podcast? And like we just talked about that from the beginning, I said, that was about, I said, Erica, don't get me. I know it's about over a year ago.
It's okay.
But I said, when I'm going to get to you, when I tell y'all, what I be telling you, I'm going to get to you when I'm going to get to you.
You here now?
Yes, but you're here. It has to be timing. I always say timing and preparation is key.
Well, everything happens when it's supposed to happen anyway.
That's right.
You got somebody in the chair.
You most definitely have to network for sure. And I mean, going to things that you may not think you need, but just showing your face. So when I started going to the Chambers of Commerce, the Black Chambers of Commerce meetings on Fridays, everybody needed food, and then they ended up hiring me to do that food. I didn't have no customers then. I had no customers, but I gained several from there, and they end up hiring me, and they have hired me again. So you just got to put your name out there, get in places, quit worrying about who don't support you. Like literally, that's everybody's problem.
Yep.
They take away from those that do, for those that don't.
Worry about who does.
Like, yes, what you have.
All right, some of the comments in the chat. I love it. Hey, Auntie, that's for Mook.
Hey.
And then Keisha Renee says, love to see my cousin and a neighbor friend collaborate.
Oh, is that my cousin Keisha? Hey, Keisha.
Hey, Keisha.
Oh, okay. I want to piggyback us a little bit on what we was talking about on the networking. Because sometimes it just amazes me as business owners that our mind, sometimes that mindset can be so limited. It's like, get out there. Like, it's nothing wrong with somebody like, how you going to do all that brag? I don't look at it as bragging on myself when I'm introducing myself to somebody. I'm like, that's an opportunity. How they going to know about me? I'm just not supposed to sit here and expect everybody to know about the I Am County Scales podcast or the Closet Friends Boutique. I got to tell you about it.
Right. So no, I mean, worry about the wrong thing.
Yes,
because this is business.
I was like, if you want to elevate, this is the way to do it. Some people say, I'm good on my own. I have the talent. Yeah, you may have the talent, but
are you an actress? Because what? Like, you still gotta meet people no matter what. And again, this is not to make friendships. This is to handle business. So that's just a negative way of thinking. I mean, we oppressed. That's just that.
What you said.
We're oppressed.
Now, Couch Crew, I'm going to talk to you for a minute. I want you to put ready in the comments if you've ever received an opportunity from somebody like Chef E and you were just ready and it worked out for you. And if you had to figure it out, put figure it out in the chat because you was like, oh, I went out there and did it and I don't know how it's going to work out. I want to hear from you. Because we just want to see who's out. Like I always say, this is a no judgment zone. Just try to see where everybody is, feel the room, feel the temperature. Be like, girl, that was you too. I was like that too. Because some of us We literally live on, well, I guess I'm going to do this and see what happens, that type of mentality.
No, you got to.
Because I do it all the some stuff. I be like, I'm just going to get out here. Like when I did the podcast, I always tell this story. For those of you who know, you know. But for those of you who don't, I was in Memphis, Tennessee, and a microphone was put in my hand at a pop-up. I was there representing the Closet Experience. I was not hosting at that time. A friend of mine, Latanya and Kevin, would Create the Culture. They were hosting pop-ups at the time, and they were traveling into Memphis. And the host went somewhere, and she was like, oh, you like to talk? Here's the microphone. Baby, that microphone, it was like magical. She passed me the mic, and baby, I got on that mic, and I was like, oh, I felt something different.
You felt at home.
Baby, the way I clowned on that microphone and people were engaging with me, and I said, oh, this is it. So when I got back home, I called my homegirl, Keita. Everybody know that's my bestie. I called and I said, I think we need to get Kevin Johnson from Big Church Podcast on the line. I think I want to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And she was like, huh? And I said, I don't know. I think I want to do a talk show. I think I called it a talk show at the time. Then I said, okay, a podcast, whatever it's called. I want to do it. And I want to host events. And she was like, okay, I'm down. You know, she's always there. She'd be like, what? You know, her first reaction is always, what? Huh? Wait, how you come to this? Well, I don't even know how to go through the story. Well, you know, a microphone was put in my hand, and we've been on go mode ever since.
And that's good.
That's been over 3 years ago.
And that was put in your hand for a reason.
And when I say I love it, I love hosting events. So y'all remember, I still host events. So if y'all need me, go on and holler at your girl, IamCounterSkills.com, or go on and hit me up on my socials and let me know. But I love it. I got to collaborate down at your spot soon. Yeah, look, what I got to do, get back in the swing of things. But yes, but Couch Crew, I want y'all to talk to me and tell me, because sometimes we run on that mentality. And I know, baby, I do. So, Chefy, people walk into a restaurant. They sit down. They enjoy the food. They eat. And they leave. They don't see payroll. They don't see the cost. They don't see staffing. They just see, ooh, boom, I had a good time. And what really gets me is this. They don't see the owner trying to figure everything out behind the scenes. All they know is my food was good, or they experienced this type of situation while they was there. What is the hardest truth about owning a restaurant that customers will probably never understand?
The hardest truth is it's none of their business.
Oh, okay, come on now.
I mean, it is what it is. They come for a service. It's like you buy some shoes. You don't know what it takes to make them shoes either. So it's what going on in the background is none of their business. But you got compassionate people who understand it. And if people like to be compassionate and give grace, then not even understanding exactly what's going on in the background, they know something going on in the background, then you get those people too. But ultimately, it's learning that it doesn't matter. They paid for this food. They came for good service. And that's what it is, point blank period. We can want them to be sympathetic all day long. They don't have to be.
And you're right about that.
It's where they are in their life, you know. So, I mean, that's how I look at it. I'm not saying I don't get bothered if I get a bad review, or we discuss them. I mean, that's what me and my management team does, because we got to make things better, you know, or we try to fix things.
Ooh. We're going to put a pin right there. And the reason why we could have put a pin, look, they know when I'm shaking my head, I'm going to go in. This is the example that I'm talking about right here. What did she just say? She said, they look at those reviews, whether they're good or bad, and they do something about it. They put a plan in place. A lot of business, we think, oh, well, that's just one.
We got that bad.
Yeah. Ooh, and we in black business. Right. That's why I had to put a pin right there. We got to stay on this, Chef.
We got that bad.
We do. And I want to fix that within our communities, thinking about, okay, that's just one customer. I like to hear the fact that, yeah, nobody wants to get a bad review. But you look at it and you figure, how can we navigate past this? Because that's what's ultimately going to set your restaurant apart from everybody else. I can spend my money wherever I want to. You going to want me to come back.
That's their money.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can be mad or whatever. And I mean, you going to get some that's just people just being a-holes.
Oh, why was I just going to say
you're going to get that, and that's fine. And you should be able to decipher that. However, there's some truth somewhere. You know, something pissed them off. And if we remember them and know that they're just being extra, then we talk about that too. However, it's a discussion. But we study our reviews in order to improve. And we study the good ones too. Because we get way more good. We're 4.8 on Google. And everywhere else, 5 on Facebook. So we actually had somebody call the health department on us the other day that was fictitious. But I mean, we deal. That's another thing we deal with.
Like, people, please stop that, because I'm gonna tell you something. Karma is a ML, and she gonna come back to you. That's gonna be something that you gonna want to do in life. And guess what's gonna happen to you? When you put a bid, whatever it is, it may not be a business. It could be something that you think is gonna be grand for you. Watch it come back on you.
I mean, boy, people don't realize some people live in their karma.
It's like that.
We be thinking you ain't even gotta wait.
Right.
Their karma was them sitting at home 3:00 in the morning doing that damn review,
Wow.
the fake review. So
because they can't sleep at night,
right?
And they got.
Because I'm sitting up here like I ain't got time to be sitting on no. Lord Jesus, I need y'all to get a life.
So I mean, you're gonna deal with things of that nature, and it is what it is. And the bigger you are, the more you're gonna deal with. So you just produce what you produce. So when things like that come about, you already ahead of the game because we're great, we're amazing. So it's gonna be a little bit of this, but this greatness is gonna outshine it. So we don't expand on those situations, but we do. We're gonna talk about them and we're gonna grow from them. But yeah,
that's very. I'm just sitting up here like. Who has time? Like, I really don't get when people have that much time on hand, but I like the fact that you keep them. So that's what I like about a good business. Be like, okay, yep, you put that out there, but the numbers don't lie. The customer service don't lie.
About it.
Yeah, you can't worry about it because guess what? You start worrying about that nonsense.
You take away.
You're going to take away from everything else. Your focus is going to be off. It's going to affect your staff because you're going to come to work all downtrodden. And then, what people don't understand, leadership trickles down.
And that's why I don't really worry about so much. I'm zoned in, because I do want to be a great leader. I am a great leader, but that's my goal, to remain a great leader to my family and to the people that work under me. I mentor a lot of people. I'm a business coach. It's not out there. It will be soon, but I do business coaching, and I got to have my head on right if I'm going to be coaching someone else.
So what do you think makes a great leader?
A great leader is going to keep going no matter what's going on. A great leader is not going to let nobody see them sweat. Of course you want people to understand you got a heart. Right. But when it's time to work and we got 50 tickets on the board and like the other Saturday, my fryer went out, what I'm going to do, go out too? No. We finna do in the middle of brunch. My brunch on
that's
Saturday.
what I was just going to say. Wait a minute. In the middle of
1 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
PM.
Oh, wow.
The height of brunch.
You see how I'm looking, girl? My eyes look out about this big.
I could shut that whole kitchen down by being upset.
So you have to pivot in that moment.
Keep going and being determined, being consistent. No matter what's going on, when you walk out your door, you on stage. So when I come in there, I'm on stage. Everybody already going through stuff. We all going through stuff. So why would I put what I'm going through on others? So keeping, work happy.
Wow, you said something powerful right there. Because most people would have broke down and it just would have created chaos for the business.
I'm so good at it that I don't know the name of the restaurant. There was a restaurant that was sending people to us one day because their plumbing was messed up. One of my servers was like, plumbing? Is that all? Because we don't nothing stop us. The roof might fall. I'm going to put a stick up. And we're going to hold the damn roof together until the end of the day because I'm going to get the rest of this money. My cooler that caught on fire. The customers will never know. They see me no matter what. Keep going. They literally witness it. And I see it in them, but no, there's really nothing that could ever stop me unless, I'm not here no more. Other than that, I'm going to always keep going. And that's a good example of a leader as well because we're trying to get to something. And it doesn't help not having the emotional intelligence when you got so many people under you. If I crack, everybody's cracking. Energy is real.
That's right. I say that all the time. I don't care what you do in whatever part of the business, whatever role you play, the energy you bring through that door is going to affect everybody. Yeah. But it's going to be up to each individual to keep that energy high because you can let one person, it just sound like a domino effect and you like, what just happened? We just got here, or the day was going good. Like with the fryer situation, it could have just been like, oh my God, somebody panic and shut down, tell all the people we can't sell the tickets, but you got to figure out, okay, let's see if we can, people that have fried chicken, maybe, do you want to get, offer them something else or whatever it is to make it work, to be accommodating.
We had another fryer on the way. I made sure he brought it in the back door so everybody could see the damn fryer. Look at this big fryer coming through this back door. So I'm strategic too. Like I want to make, not that I'm like, hey, look, but it was really like we working on something. But
So make them be like, we're not just saying that just to be saying
no,
something.
The fryer went out. We maintained it as much as we could until the guy got there. It actually went out before that, but we were maintaining it due to another fryer. But it got to a point where you could only fry so much chicken.
Baby, they be slanging chicken over there and roasted, just slanging it. What you slanging over there? Chicken and fish.
Absolutely.
Ooh, you made me want to fish.
Right, because
look, you see, look, I said, let me stop, because y'all know I'm going to start talking about food. Lord Jesus, I done went into, a fish sandwich with She could have at least bought your girl a little something, a little sandwich, a little French fry.
Today.
Yeah. Oh, they closed up. I'm sorry, look, they closed today. Well, you cook at your house?
I don't. I cook dinner at work. Hold on. So my employees get real meals. I cook at work. For real? Yeah, I don't cook on Mondays and Tuesdays because I'm at home, either trying to get rest or out meeting, doing podcasts, things of that nature. So I cook at work from spaghetti to chili to meatloaf, whatever they say they want. I'm cooking at work. So we have dinner at Roasted, my family. You know, that's where they get their home cooked meals from me at right now.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah.
Then I always ask this question of people that cook. Can you bake?
Hell, I mean, no. That's what I be telling people that. And people got mad at me.
I'm trying to figure this out. Is that truly a myth, or is it because everybody that
I think I figured it out. Baking, you got too much to think about. Cooking, you gonna freestyle.
Yeah.
I don't got time to read recipes.
Great. I said you really gotta read the recipe to bake. I just thought you were kind of freestyle.
No, ma'am. You put the wrong amount of baking soda, the wrong amount of hint of salt. No, ma'am. I am a chef, and I posted that on my Instagram not too long. And people really got mad about that because I think I said, if you're a cooker, you can't bake, and if you're a baker, you can't cook.
Because I've been hearing that, but I've been trying to figure out, is it true? Because every time somebody come in here, or if it's somebody I just have a conversation with, they're like, no.
If somebody said they lying, they probably can do a good casserole and bake. They probably can do some potato salad and bake, but you're not killing it all across the board. Which I can bake, yes. Do I want to? No. Am I gonna know? But I can bake a little bit, but I don't have.
I can cook a little bit, but cooking is not my thing, baby. Y'all can have it.
The people that bake can bake, baby. Stay right there.
I can't bake. I can't. I mean, I can. Let me say this. Shout out to my mama and my aunt's friend Sharon Parrish, because baby, I got her homemade caramel icing, and baby, I did make it. Now the first time I effed it up. I ain't gonna lie, because baby, I had the stove. You know, it got stuck to the bottom.
You supposed to keep stirring.
You supposed to keep that's a whole.
You're supposed to stop. See, I know that much. I know stuff like that.
But baby, when I did it right, that recipe. Now I ain't gonna look. You see, I'm over here stood out because I might have told a white lie. My husband said I made that cake from scratch. It was a box cake.
Oh well,
now, I didn't make the cake, but that icing was from scratch. Baby, that cake was
girl, these bakeries be using box cake, baby.
Right?
They just add a little extra egg and a little extra butter.
And I think they call for I think I use milk instead.
You always supposed to use milk instead of water.
Yeah, I used the milk because I had
butter instead of oil.
Yeah, that's what
right there.
I would say I did that, baby. When I say y'all can have that kitchen,
it's probably 1 out of 100 people though. They can do both.
Baby, I don't like doing none of it. I got to be in the mood, but I do have my little things that I do. When I do them, my husband know, he be like, "Oh my God, my wife cooked." I cooked some food so far one time. My husband was like, "My wife cooked. It was so good." I know
he was mad at you.
Because he know I don't get in the kitchen.
She don't cook but once a year.
Yeah,
literally.
about once a year. You good if you get it twice. But the things I can cook, I can get down when I cook. Yeah. But it's so funny. He done called everybody this job. So called my sister. My sister said, "What?" We went out the country. My sister said, "What did you do to the man? And what did he do to you? You come back cook." But it was only one day I cooked. He calling everybody in the family. I say, y'all, I tell y'all, I do what I do. And then my little secrets, then I got to ask for something. I do like, let me see what I want to ask for. Because, you got to get it while the getting is good. Now, I have a good husband. He pretty much give me anything I want. But yes. Now, Chefie, I want to move into a part of your story very carefully, because it's in just a news headline. This is something you specifically lived on Easter Sunday 2024. I want you to tell me how much ever you want to reveal about that day. How has that actually changed the way you move inside your business? What was that like for you?
It didn't change much because we wasn't moving wrong. This was something that no matter where he went, he probably would have done it. Like nothing happened to make this incident happen. So, I mean, I have security, which the way Rosa was growing, I was about to add security, but a lot of places are like on where I'm at, we're supposed to have security because of the area. Like some places you see with security, it's because they're required to with the lease. Where I was at, I wasn't supposed to, but nothing ever happened in my establishment for me to want security. However, I know what growth do.
Yes.
So at some point we were working on getting security, but that's the only thing different. But we didn't do anything wrong, and I'm okay with saying that, and I would never think otherwise. Because what we present is a place for people to be themselves, let their hair down, enjoy some brunch, enjoy some music, enjoy each other, meet friends.
Yes.
Like we say, we change our mood with food. People coming there maybe having a bad day, they're gonna leave with a good one. So I have nothing to change, but we hired security, and that won't stop anything. If he is in the wrong place of the building.
Yep.
However, I have no regrets to what we presented and to what we were doing that day. The Easter Bunny had just left. My website
day.
people, yeah. So I was building my website. They had just left from recording, which is it did testimonials of people. My media team had just left, getting our doing like little commercials and getting our headshots. So it was a beautiful high vibrational day. So
just one of the things. So something I've heard you say before stayed with me. You said there are moments when you had to remind yourself that you were physically shot. That's powerful because I feel like in that moment, things go so fast that the trauma that you experienced, it didn't really register at that time. And then some days later, it may not have because the way things happen. And then you've already said before, you have that high tolerance for trauma. So did you ever give yourself permission to actually process what happened? Or did you, being the business owner that you are, the wife, the mother, just keep pushing through?
Keep pushing through. But I do both. We did do group therapy for the crew. Everybody in the restaurant got therapies by themselves if they wanted it. And we really strictly, we not strictly, but we tried to enforce it as much as we could as a team. Like if you're going to stay a part of this team, you got to get therapy. So we did group therapy. But I mean, both, because I still have to keep going. And I still process things with time. Just keep going both ways, I guess. That's the best way I can say it, because with me with me processing things different when it comes to trauma, I can't say if I've gave myself enough time, because when I did, I still was moving. So what is time? Or how long you supposed to give yourself? Where's the rules to that?
I'm gonna say it's no
not
time.
in
I'm gonna say
so that's
it's
why
no
it's like,
time limit. I always say it's no time limit on grief or any type of anything you go through. People say, "Oh, get over, do this." No, you can't tell somebody how to navigate through certain situations.
I think a little different. I don't think that I want to rush somebody, but I like for people to do the work. So
True.
that's why I
do the
feel
work.
different about saying there's no time. Because if you're doing the work, you can cut some of that time in half. Or if you're not doing the work, okay, you got people like you to say it's no time and keep and grieve and do your thing. But how long do you allow somebody, or how long do you encourage that?
Oh, just made me think about that.
And I'm speaking of death or anything.
Because that's what I was just thinking about. Because I was just thinking, I don't know. When I think about it, when it comes to death, for me, that's what first thing that popped in my mind. I just haven't given myself a time limit. I go on, but
That's true.
When I'm mostly, what happens with me is when and most of the time I'm home alone by myself in the daytime because I work from home, and just things replay in my head, and it's just like, oh, they're no longer like. Some days I think some days I literally pinch myself to be like, is this real?
Right.
I call my aunt and my uncle that's now deceased. I call them my mom and daddy. Because they didn't have kids and they helped raise me and my sister as well. My mama was right and all that. But some days I'm just literally sitting there and I'm like, this can't be real. Or sometimes I think about my nephew, my sister's child that passed away from motorcycle, and I'm like, this ain't real. Like, my mind goes into, and that's why I said, then I'll just start crying and I'm like, I know that's grief.
But it's real, because I mean,
that's why I
everybody
say
can't
no
stay
time.
alive.
I mean, I don't know how to say I'm not going to have those feel where I don't think, and then I go get emotional and all that. Like,
everything can't always be. Everything can't always stay. We grow up. We get older. We get, you know, we go further in our jobs. We have relationships that get older. Like, everything is not going to always be. So I don't ever want to sound insensitive when I do feel that there's a time. There's no exact time per the person. However, are you doing the work?
Oh, yes.
Not you.
Yeah,
but
I'm saying
with
I have to definitely take in that, okay, this is real, you know, and just tell myself, you know, I go in prayer, like, I don't waddle in it, but I have to be like,
right.
Oh, wow.
And it's okay to have a moment.
It's just, to have those moments. And I had one not too long ago with my cousin on the phone, and we were talking about her, and then we started talking about my aunt, the one I was just telling you that I call her, and I just said, I'm not mad at you or my sister or my other cousin because y'all had a conversation with her the night before she passed, but I was feeling some kind of way. I said, I said, don't take this around. I'm not mad at you, right. But it's something going on with me and she was like, oh. I said, no. I said, hear what I'm saying. I'm not mad at y'all, but it's just in the back of my mind. I was like, why didn't God allow me to have a conversation with her? I had a conversation with her over that weekend that she was supposed to be making me and my husband some soup, because she was like, okay, what kind you want or what kind Patrick want? And we said, and she was going to the store. She said, I need to know, because I still, it's been a while, but I do a lot of pop-ups, and she's like, you always on the road, and you always doing this, you're always busy, you're hosting, you're doing this. And she was like, you need to tell me what soup you ate, because I'm going to the store. I called you last week. And it was like, I missed the call last week, but we tried to talk about it every day, every other day. But this particular time when she passed away, the night before, she called, or I don't know who called who, but she talked to two of my cousins, and she talked to my sister.
But my brain says, why wasn't the last conversation you had with her enough?
It just was.
Because our brain is a terrible place to be in sometimes.
It was just like, I don't know. It just wasn't enough for me.
Like our brain goes and finds stuff.
I'm glad you said that, because now I'm going home. I like when people ask me questions, because literally, when you say do the work, like literally, that's going to be in the back of my mind. I'm going to go home and I'm going to sit with myself.
Yeah, that's what
like people don't understand. I sit with y'all think I be on this podcast just talk. Because Chef E, you just said, I'm going home and sit with myself and ask myself, why was that not enough? Because I need to dig deep.
Because y'all didn't argue? Exactly.
It was a good conversation.
Why wasn't that conversation enough?
I don't know why I keep tying it to they laughed and joked on the phone. Because, of course, when we all met up the day she passed and everybody came up to that, they were talking about, oh, yeah, we talked about this. They were talking about what they were joking about and talking about. And I was like, well, we didn't joke. Like, we were just talking about food. And so it done something to me. And I got to figure out within me what's going on.
Because we just got to be okay with what it is. Mm-hmm. Like, I could see if y'all had an argument. I would ask you a different question. Mm-hmm. But my thought is why? That was y'all's last conversation. That was their last conversation. They were all great. Yeah. We have to be okay with what it is, because it's everything. One thing that we're going to all do is die. One thing we're all going to do is die. And people linger on death longer, to me, without being insensitive, a little longer than we should, because we are not doing what we should be doing to be okay. Mm-hmm. My grandmama did everything she could. I don't linger on her death. My grandma's with me. I'm not saying I don't have a moment or two, because it's still new. It's 2 years, but I am okay because she did what she was supposed to do while she was here. She was 84 when she passed. That lady was ready to go. Them old black ladies. Oh, take me now. I'm like, okay, forget it. I'm on her side now.
Now, who is your grandmama? What's your grandma?
Dinky.
Okay, because I was gonna say,
we're first cousins.
Okay, because I was gonna say, now, y'all, is this the grandma? Okay, I don't know if that was your grandmama or not.
Yeah.
But thank you for clarifying that for me, because I was gonna say, Aisha I used to get tickled off that lady, but she was fabulous and funny, baby.
Exactly, and what more do we want from some people?
Right.
It's how I look at it. But like I said, I do look at things differently. I don't know if you believe in the chosen one. I do feel that I'm that in my family. I'm anointed. I'm blessed. People, I have an energy that may attract people in ways. I have a way of talking to people, dealing with people, and I got a way of processing things. Mm-hmm. And one thing I do is try not to linger on anything. Mm-hmm. I can't even linger on the situation with I still ain't got my feet back on the ground since the shooting.
No, so if did you ever consider walking away? And
no.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
Look, no.
It doesn't sound like you did. Because I didn't know if it ever be like, oh, I'm through with it. Like, this is
not
too much.
One bit. Because what else?
Because I was saying the person that I know you are out to hearing you talk, I'm like, I know it was never a thought.
I mean, I be thinking to myself when people say stuff like that, they could say, I'm like, how? Like, I never, ever, ever, ever thought that I wouldn't continue on. Now, I ain't know how I was going to do it again. But I did the same thing, walked in that building with no money. $0. So I knew if I could do it the first time, I could do it again. And my goal is to find a failing business.
You know what I was going to say? The same God that did it yesterday gonna do it today,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Same God, baby.
I believe in what I know and how I feel. I needed some time to myself, but I most definitely never thought that I wouldn't. I didn't see the light. This time it may be too dark, and this time you might see a little crack of light, but I didn't see nothing. But I knew I wasn't stopping.
Right, and that's why we had some comments about the importance of just keep going and keep doing it. And that's what I admire about you is like the pivot of when the Salem town had to close, and then you moved to over there by MLK, and then till
oh yeah, that's right.
And I opened that up just to keep the name going.
Right, just to keep it going.
I wasn't planning on keeping that.
Right.
I'm just like, I gotta keep roasted out
until it came back. So I was like, just to keep going
place.
and the resilience.
Yeah,
and then
resilience.
your content, I love it. Just because you show some of the behind the scenes stuff, like stuff happens, but you keep going. And, just to kind of encourage people. So,
but thank you. But no, I don't know no other way.
Right.
Because I have no other way. I'm not. There's a lot of things I feel like I'm not gonna do, and I know we say never, but I know that I will continue in this avenue of work. And I mean, I will not stop doing what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm still trying to get my feet on the ground. This was a temporary place. I'm there longer than what I wanted, but I'm there.
They're giving the people a good time, baby. And I want to challenge something that we say in our community all the time. Black women are strong. It sounds like a compliment, but sometimes I wonder if we've turned strength into an expectation. Y'all notice how I said expectation. And I imagine part of that healing gets complicated because the trauma isn't only attached to what happened to us sometimes. It's attached all around us.
Right.
And so when we talk about that, get strong and be strong. How do you feel about that? When we just say black women are strong, like sometimes I'm on the fence with that. Because sometimes I feel like it doesn't allow ourselves to be vulnerable. That's why I say I'm on the fence. But I agree. What's your take on it?
I try to look at the positive in everything. I don't really sayings and stuff, I don't really get into that. I know that's real, but it only bothers me when it becomes an insensitive situation. When we go to doctors and they don't take care of us as black women and things of that nature. But as far as black mothers, that's what we are. Black women, black entrepreneurs, that's what we are. And honestly, I'm okay with being strong because I do take the time out for myself. And that's the thing. I mean, we can listen to what people say about anybody, any type of statistic they put on us, whatever, but we have the choice to be what we need to be. I do know I have an option to not be strong. I got a great family. But I also know that when that situation happened, that was my whole crew. So I had to be extremely strong because my whole family worked there. This didn't happen to me on my job.
I forgot about that.
This didn't happen to it's a whole different situation when you got your whole family involved in something. This is not like me working at a job and a traumatic incident happened there. Then I got my family to lean on. I didn't have that. Not saying I didn't have it, but I had to be strong for everybody else. What's wrong with being strong is how I look at it. But you just got to have the right people around you to let you not, or to let you chill. Or when I tell them, I call my brother and be like, look, I need you to come close this restaurant. I can't make it another further. And I don't even say it so deep to the point where he jump up quick. He must, because he know, she calling me to do what? He'll come in and close that restaurant and I'll go home and get some sleep. And so that's what it helped coming in for me and me being strong. He think I'm the strongest person in the world. But he know if I call him, he need to come. So, that's why I'm on the fence about that, because I am strong and I do know a lot of people put stuff on me, but that's what I'm here for. I mean, we lead the family.
But I like the fact that what I love about when you said that in your family, they know that once you do say, hey, I need my time, I need to walk away, that they got your back like that. Because that speaks volumes to the type of family, the relationship you all have. Yeah. But that's what I was saying about that being strong. Because sometimes, I'm gonna say, like, sometimes what ends up happening is you think you can't take that break, but you got that support system. Yeah. Sometimes there are people out there that don't have a support system, so they gotta keep being strong. And that's why I was saying, I'm kind of on the fence because it doesn't let you be vulnerable to say, no, I need a break today. I'm just closing this down. Like they may not, even though you may not have that support system, I get it, bills are due, but sometimes you got to be okay for being okay for yourself.
For sure.
Because at the end of the day, if you no good, your cup can't run it over.
Right. I mean, what they tell you on the airplane. You put your mask on first.
That's right.
What I look like, I'm trying to save even my child and I pass out. So you put your mask on first, and that's how I live. I'm going to make sure I'm good. They know on Mondays, I usually don't do nothing. Monday or Tuesday, I do a little bit, but they know, do not bother me on these days. You know, they know when it's time to not bother me and to let me be. So, you know, I feel, I guess your support system kind of assist you with that, but I do get what people mean by the black woman being strong.
Yes, because that's I feel like sometimes that's a big responsibility when we say that. You got something to check.
Yep. First, it's good that you have that balance, and that's why I try to encourage people all the time. You got to have that balance. Yes. So, another comment from Erica Fowler Eagleston.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
She said, you're so beautiful inside and out, and you're a resilient black woman. And she also said, the honey wings are fire.
Yes, she been supporting me since I pulled up at her house with breakfast plates. I mean, she been supporting me before the food truck, when I was selling it out my trunk. Erica's been around for sure.
Well, Erica, we appreciate you for keeping them doors over there roasted open.
Yes.
Yes. Since it is Black Business Month, I gotta take us there. We constantly tell people to support black. We hear that all the time. But support can't only mean showing up when the business goes viral or when things are going good. When everybody's posting on Facebook, you know how we do. Oh, that's the new it spot. Because baby, we'll run some up as a new it spot.
Then be done with it.
So you know I gotta go.
Go ahead.
But after experiencing all of that, the blow up, which I don't think you've ever stopped, so this probably doesn't apply to you, but I just wonder if you could talk to that entrepreneur where I've seen where businesses, they get that blow up and then it drops drastically because as y'all don't be mad, but as black consumers, we do have that thing that we'll go support something that we own to the next. But I don't understand that mentality. I don't know what happens, but can you speak on that? I know it hasn't happened to you because, baby, they booked and busy and they grew up and over there and partying. But
that's human nature, though. Like, you know, it's not just a black thing. That's our community. That's our life as black people. Everything go on in every nationality, every culture. However, some people not ready when they blow up. And I wasn't either, but that's why I didn't go to bed either. I wasn't ready. I didn't know what I was doing. I had never been, kid you not, I was standing in that restaurant one day, literally, and realized I had never worked in a kitchen. Months after I opened, when we was popping. I had never worked in a restaurant kitchen. I was a server. I was a bartender. I worked at a restaurant, but I had never physically worked in a kitchen. And I never thought about that when I opened that place up.
Oh, wow.
So I wasn't ready either, but you got to be ready to stay up late. You got to be ready to not get no sleep. You got to be ready to work on your off days. You got to be ready. One, as a restaurant owner, you should never open 7 days a week.
Come on.
No restaurant. You got your J. Alexander's and your Chili's and things. Them are big corporations. But any small big black business or any smaller business period, you got to give yourself a day off. You know why? Because you might be the only one working in there one day.
You can recharge.
You got to recharge. I'm going to get to where I'm open 7 days a week because we're going to be a bigger brand. But right now, in this early stage, I'm on my 4th year this month, 2 days ago.
Okay, come on. Let's get, get some hand claps out there. Yes.
I literally didn't. And see, that's how much I be going.
You're going.
But you got to give yourself time. But a lot of places, people love the hype. And they love the glitz and the glam, and the social sites make that possible. However, a lot of us are not ready because you are supposed to do things when you're not ready. However, people stop on educating themselves. They stop on what's next, and so then they're in the fun too. Woo! And as they're coming down, they're not trying to figure out what's next. That's my take, and then boom, because when you come to me in this woo, I got to figure out how to keep it woo. I got to figure out how to keep everything at the top. Okay, we busy as crap. I'm not losing this.
And I want to speak also while we're on this conversation about food critics. Like, I see a lot of stuff because now we have what are called food critics. I don't know who made these people food critics, but I'm not knocking it because I always say when you're critiquing something, that's subjective to a personal preference. So when I see those and then sometimes they give people bad reviews, I'm like, Okay, just because you didn't like something, then sometimes it's one of them things that they could blow something up or it can seem like it's tearing something down. But I always say try stuff for yourself.
Yeah, but then you begin to follow these people, and then you know if this person gonna lead you right. So that's a difference. Yeah, you got people who you like, why would you listen to them? But they listen to them because they go to all these places and they like it, so they can listen to this individual. But you got the people that do the fad stuff, like they say go here, we gonna go here, you know, and then you get people that lie on these damn reviews too.
And that's what I'm saying. When did this become a thing?
We get more of the people lying than the genuine reviews now, I feel. I don't even let certain people review my restaurant if I see that I'm not knocking nobody's restaurant, but I know that this ain't right. You know, it could be a chain restaurant and they'll review it and act like it was the best, and I'm like, there's no reason for them to come here. Because I'm giving them free food. I'm giving them a major spread, over $100 some worth of food. So I am selective.
Well, look, let me come down. Look, I'm just messing with you. You know, I'm going to come and spend my dollars. But look, let me just put out a spread for me, baby, because I'm just going to come to eat. I ain't going to critique it. I'm here coming to eat.
Yeah, but we don't approve everybody. So that's the thing. I do like genuine reviews.
Right.
I mean, but if it's somebody, so say everybody know you. They know if they trust you, you could do it yourself. You gonna have people, but you're going to have people that's going to listen to everything you say. And like you say, there's people, you're like, but how you know that your palate's, you know. But if you follow a person, then y'all got the same taste.
And that's what I tell people. Like, I ain't trying to judge nobody, because I may say, just like when it comes to movies, what they always say, Rotten Tomatoes may give it a 2.
Yeah.
And then what's the other critic? I can't think of another one right now. Somebody give me one. But anyway, they might give it a 10, and you're like, how they give it a 10?
Yeah.
But I always say, go for yourself. And then some days, it could have just been an off day, whatever. You know, somebody say customer service, and I'm like, I don't know, because I didn't have the experience. And I was like, I've seen some reviews, and I've been in the same place, the same people, and I'm like, I don't know what happened at their table.
Right.
But I'm looking at my time step, and I'm like, oh, Dad, I saw you sitting across there, but that didn't happen at my table. Like, we could be in the same building, same time, is what I'm trying to say, and we can have 2 different perspectives on how that went that night.
It's just, it's like a restaurant craze right now in this world, is what I think.
Ooh,
people are like crazy about restaurants right now, and everything is about reviews. I mean, even with hair too and all that, but it's this thing about restaurants right now. And so, you know,
because I'm starting to see, and that's why I was like, going there with that question. I'm like, who are these people in my feed now? It's just like, that's all I'm seeing. Yeah. Like some guy popped up last week, matter of fact, and he was talking about Bowden's. He done went to all these, and I'm like, who are you? What is my time? And everything. When I say, I was in the car with my mom, and I said, why is all these food critics like, what
you must have been looking at one, and you know Facebook throw the stuff right on in there once you start.
And I think that's
and
what
if
it
you
was.
Like one, looked at more than one.
Well, I had looked at way back when I can't think his name right now. The black guy, Lord, what's his name? I can't think.
Hungry Black Man, Darius Cooks.
The other man. Actually, he actually gives folks.
Keith Lee.
Yeah. So that was been a minute, but then all of a sudden, I'm talking about last week, it was just coming down. And I'm like, I ain't looked at him in a minute, but I'm like, where is all of these coming from? I mean, of course, I've liked this stuff, but I'm like, where is this coming from?
You probably was talking about
it's on my Facebook.
You know the phones, listen, baby.
Baby, I mean, when did you say? Just kept, and I said, what? I was
like, where is this coming from?
Because it's just so crazy, because I'm like, now they knew Chef E was coming over here, so they were trying to run all this down my timeline. Look, quit running that foolishness down my timeline. Everybody go try stuff for yourself. Then I want to say this. We're going to stay on this support black business. But I want to say, does the black business owner have a responsibility to earn the support? Because sometimes we feel like, but it's because we black, people should support us.
No, they crazy.
Oh, I like that you said.
Because, I mean, this is the thing. This is my thing about supporting black business, any black business. Yes, I'm going to pick you first because you're black. But that don't mean you get to treat me any type of way. However, I am going to drive the extra mile because you're black. I'm going to spend a couple of extra dollars because you're black. But you need to make sure you treated me well. But I still would give you another try because you're black. So, if you don't mind, I want to give advice to supporting black businesses.
Yes,
one is being patient and having grace. Because we ain't got no loans. We ain't got no help sometimes. Like I deal with adversities in that building every other day, and I mean I'm doing everything I can. If I had the money that I need to do what I gotta do, I wouldn't be where I was at. But we have to give grace. That's all I recommend for black businesses, because sometimes we are doing all that we can. Now, there are some places that are outright, they don't care about that money. I treat everybody, y'all pay my bills. Everybody dollar counts. It ain't no, oh, I ain't worrying about them. It's just one. No, everybody counts. However, grace is needed in the Black community, but that business owner has to do their part too. They don't automatically need to support you.
Yep.
So, that's the thing. Some people do feel that. I don't walk around talking about I'm a Black business. I am. People know me.
Right.
However, I respect that people support me because I'm a Black business. And I want to get in what they coming for. But at the end of the day, you got to do your part as an owner. And it's just not fair if somebody's being graceful to your establishment and you're treating them like, some people like, what you want, what you need. No.
Yes, that's the attitude.
How you talk to me like that? I'm spending my money with you.
Baby.
Yeah, no. So it goes both ways. You have to give grace as a customer, and that owner has to do the best that they can do to respect your time and your money.
I want to speak right now to the entrepreneur who wants to quit. Because you talked about obstacles and adversity. There's somebody watching us right now whose business didn't experience what yours did, but their situation feels so traumatic and devastating to them. The customers aren't coming. Money is running out. They're exhausted. And I do mean exhausted. They're embarrassed about what seems like failure. And they're thinking, maybe this dream just isn't working. Chef A, I want you to talk to them. Give them some advice straight from your heart.
I mean, you have to keep going regardless. You have to keep going. It might feel like it don't work. It may be 6 months straight. I heard Kevin Hart say 6 months straight, you giving your hardest, you think you're doing something, and you look back and you feel like you ain't did something. You did something. You progressed somewhere. You might not see some of that outcome, but you don't stop, because what if tomorrow is the big break? You know what I'm saying? What if you stop today and tomorrow is the big break? I'm done. I'm going to cut my phone off. I'm not dealing with nobody tomorrow. I'm done with this. I'm never doing it again. And then you missed that phone call that could have saved your life and your career, your passion, whatever. So my advice is to literally not stop and be consistent. Quit being lazy, some people. We think we could do a little bit and get a whole lot. No, you got to do a whole lot. You got to lose sleep. I've had maybe 6-7 hours of sleep in 48 hours.
That's the story of my life.
And this weekend is going to do the same thing because we're going to be busy. So, you cannot stop. Even when you think you're supposed to stop. Even when you feel like this is the perfect time to stop. If it's something you want to do, it is always going to work out. It will never not. And I don't, like right now, again, I still haven't got my feedback on the ground. It's 2 years later. There's no way I went through that and I'm going through this to not make it. There's no way possible.
No.
So I've went through too much not to reach the top. And one of the things I live by is if you climbing up a mountain, you get halfway there, you're going to go back down halfway or finish the halfway up. You know what I'm saying? Are you going so you going to win going back down because you made it back down, but you also going to really win when you go up. You got the same amount to go up, same amount to go down. Why not go up?
I just can't give up now. Come too far from where I started from. And I'm going to piggyback off that and say, we can't let our thoughts get into play in our mindset, and we where we start, what I like to say, getting in our own way, talking in our
devil's
own
playground.
And you just that idle mind, and you just saying, I don't know, I can't do it. You just start saying what you can't do instead of saying what you can.
That's why you got to listen to podcasts, listen to audiobooks. I watch stuff on YouTube every day. It can be so simple as I'm going to win. Type it in. You're going to find a video of them talking about how they're going to win. I listen to E.T. I listen to Napoleon Hill. I listen to Jim Rohn. I listen to Neville Goddard. I listen to people. I listen to Kobe Bryant. I listen to Kanye West, Oprah Winfrey every single day of my entire life, because I'm not making it sometimes mentally either. So
like that.
You have to find a way to get out of your head and get something else in it, because it is natural. It is human nature to think the opposite. Or to think you're failing, or to think you're not doing good, or whatever. So you got to find a way to get that process things differently.
Yes, most definitely. And don't confuse changing the recipe with abandoning the dream.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we We do that.
I did it in roasted. Hold on. I'm like, okay, these hash browns look a little drier lately. Okay, we need more heavy whipping cream and more butter. And I did it after a year. So you got to do what you got to do. Because sometimes you're so busy, you don't even realize what something could be lacking at. You know, I know this stuff is selling, but can it be better? Yeah, I'm going to do this to make it better. So always be ready to make a pivot. I mean, with catering, things are never set up the way it's supposed to be when you go do a catering job. They tell you they got 4 tables, they got 2. They tell you they got a prep room, they got a closet. I'm talking about a closet, a real closet. I done had to prep some food in a closet because they told me they had a prep room. Did I say we can't do this? No, I got to get these people food on the table.
What we talked about earlier, I said we gonna come into this boutique, honey, just walk.
I love that.
I said just get on around this way,
a good view.
Go around this maze, but you're gonna sit over here on the podcast side. I said it does dual function.
Right.
So yes, you have to make it do what you got to do. You can't be worried about what I had to learn early on with doing all of the things that I have done in my life is you can't let one monkey stop a show.
No.
And you can't get in your own way.
Yeah. And that's we be in our own way more than anybody.
Yep. Because, baby, sometimes I be like, I can't do this. Who gonna come? Baby, I start calling you. Oh, they come. They want to sit on the they want to come over here to the I Am County Schedule. Because sometimes you tell yourself, they don't know me like that.
What they got to know?
But, you know, you just feel like, oh. And
you be in your head.
Girl, yeah. Baby, I done got on my head. It's either you going to give me a yes, you going to give me a no, and I'm going to move on.
And that's what I have to tell one of my content creators that I coach. One of her things, I'm not bigger than the program. I'm like, who? You are the program. You pay your bills. You don't work. Your content is your job. You are the program. Like, we have to gas ourselves up. And it's not arrogance. I know what I am.
And that's what I'm learning. That like, going back to what I was talking about.
We're taught to dummy ourselves down. We're taught to dummy ourselves down. And as long as we dummy ourselves down, we won't be nothing.
Ooh, say that one more time.
As long as we dummy ourselves down, we won't be anything. And that's what people want you. That's what this world has wanted us at as black people. They want us to not have what we need to make it big in this world.
The goalpost, I always say keeps moving or keeps changing.
Yeah.
But you got to keep going regardless.
Yep.
I always tell people, it's like track to me. What they do, pass me that baton and I'm going to carry it on, baby. Yeah. Pass it on to me.
And I feel like I'm a rapper. Because them entourages, don't they? I feel like I'm a rapper and all my family is my entourage. Because don't nobody believe in that rapper. Who believe in them?
The entourage. They
gonna
be, hey!
So I'm a rapper. And my entourage, if I didn't have them, I don't know where I would be. But real life, it's like I'm on stage every time we in that building. I don't care that we open Wednesday through Sunday. I'm still on stage. And everybody that's in there is my entourage. Because if I'm down, they might not know. But what they may present that day is going to gas me up. So at the end of the day, I'm a rapper and I got a full entourage, and as long as they with me, I'm gonna be okay.
Everything is a song with me. Wow, and my head's getting, who you with, Chef E? Who you with? You see my personality. I can't. Everything is a song, but hold that thought, Chef E. Because, baby, I got to pay some bills over here. Ladies, are you looking for the hottest fashions and accessories? Look no further. The Closet Sprints Boutique has you covered. Visit theclosetsprints.com and save 10% with code PODCAST. That's PODCAST. The Closet Sprints Boutique. What's in your closet? Now, before we get out of here, I got to know, what's next for Chef E, baby?
I mean, what's next is more and more restaurants in my life. I want to own a certain amount of restaurants, and I'm going to own them.
Can I? I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead. Because now, when you said that, are you gonna do what's the word? Franchising? Is that the right word?
I am.
Okay.
And the thing is, as the incident happened, I was preparing myself. So I want to have this formula down pat. And so, I finished. You know, we still on those days off when we were down. We were still working on that. So most definitely, but it's not gonna be that easy because what we present it's not that easy to duplicate. So I'm gonna be honest, roasted is almost like you create some stuff to duplicate in the beginning. A pizza place, you could.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but what we give at roasted,
you talking about the experience, the energy,
it won't be hard. It won't be easy to duplicate. To me, because it's take a special person to work at roasted. So most definitely, I'm never dreaming small, but more restaurants. I now am into business coaching.
Okay. But talk about that a little more. What's the business coaching like? What can people expect from that?
A change within less than within a week, within 2 weeks. I have several clients now. I hadn't put it out there because of who I was working with, and I wanted to see what I was able to do. But I literally have watched these people grow rapidly from my advice. So one of the things that Chad said, I was an elevation catalyst. I can elevate anybody doing anything. I can elevate you to another level in your business. I don't care what it is. Of course, I'm specializing in restaurants. So it is open. I will be putting some out soon for the business coaching. But if somebody wants to contact me now, I still would do it now. But I have not finished my website and everything with that. I'm doing a whole lot of stuff. But this has been really great to watch my work. Literally, we do a coaching call for most of my clients once a week. Some do twice a week. But it only takes once a week. It takes once a week, an hour phone call, if not more. We do like an introduction phone call so I can see if I can help you, because I'm not taking anybody. I am busy, but I do love to be able to help people. You said something earlier about, like, I had to do this on my own. I had to teach myself. Everybody's not capable of that. So I want to be able to be someone that can help somebody who needs a little help. I did a lot on my own, meaning learning how to charge for catering, learning how to bill for this, learning different things in a restaurant. Everybody around me had never worked in a restaurant. I brought people into the restaurant industry that's never done it. So as far as the support, I didn't do it on my own, but the learning, I did it on my own. And some people are just sometimes not there yet. I can get you there. I can teach you how to research and get everything you need. But so the elevation catalyst is what I am and what I'm working on now. I'm only taking a minimal amount of people. I have finished with one client because I'm not trying to keep you long. And she's soaring. I got another one that I deal with on a regular. I'm more her mentor, but I also coach her as well. So I'm really big on wanting to get into the content creators. And the reason why I want to get into them because of the mental health of the content creators. We have a lot of suicide.
I was just going to say, when you said that, we talked about that a little bit earlier off camera, but I wanted to speak on that. Why do you think that suicide rate is high, that mental?
I can tell you going on? Because their life is in front of the world. And if they can't get at world what the world been looking at, they're killing themselves. These fake relationships, this stuff ain't like that. Getting up every morning, brushing your teeth together, you and your husband in his or her sink, walking through the
roll my eyes.
Like nobody's doing that. Nobody doing that.
I've been married. I've been married 21 years.
Okay, y'all might have a fun a couple of days and do that. But that's not life.
Every time I won't look at him, he proud of him, look at me.
Hey, but we love each other.
Yes. How long you been married?
It's 10 years this year.
But you see what I'm after so long.
Yeah, no, I love you.
We love you, but bye.
But we here, we're a unit. But yeah, some of that stuff, a lot of this stuff is not real, and people are dying, literally, to make people think that their lives are the way that they are. One, they came from broken homes and traumatic lifestyles. So two, they find this avenue, which is this camera, and now they owe that camera every day. And they are freaking out when they can't give that camera, or when they got these homes that they're renting and not buying, but they telling people they buying them and they foreclosing, but they don't want the camera's eye to see that. So then, they're crashing out, trying to be something that they're not. So that's where it's coming from. That's why I want to really hone in on these content creators, because you need mental health if you're doing content creation. Nobody's talking about that right now. But any type of content creation, they should be getting mental health, some type of counseling, therapy or something, because we all need it.
Oh, yes.
And those that want to show their whole life every day, they need it more, because they feel that if you got 1 million followers, in your mind, I got to prove something to 1 million people every day.
Oh, no, baby. Y'all could get me to 1 million, but I ain't got nothing to prove to y'all every day other than I'm a hard worker. You gonna get some of these gems on this podcast. You can shop the boutique. Baby, I ain't spending bukus of cash. I'm sitting up here now learning some financial literacy in my life. So I don't have nothing for you like that. I don't live no flashy lifestyle. Yeah. That ain't me. I like what I like, but I'm not flashy.
The content creators and the reality show TV, it's so much going on both ends of that.
That's why I started this, honestly. Yeah. Also, too, that was one of my reasons. I got so sick of, I call it trash TV. Now, y'all know I love them trash TV. Yeah. But it was at one point, I just got so tired of it. I said, I don't want
my
podcast to be like that. Like, I don't want to be the next Wendy Williams. I'm not seeking to take her throne.
And take people down.
Yes, I don't want to do that. I want people when they come over here, we just open up and what's one of my tags? I say, are you ready to help the people? Help the people, because that's what I'm here for. No gossip, just them real talk, real people, and relevant
and
conversations.
if you stay this way, you're gonna soar.
Oh yeah, I don't
But
plan
guess
on
what?
doing nothing different. There's
It
some
take
days
longer.
but it's funny that you say that, because it is. Because
It's
I
gonna
told
take
you, I
longer.
like a little bit, a little bit, not too much. So when I look at shows I be wanting to talk about, and I'm like, but I don't want my platform to be there.
It's gonna take a little longer when you do it with substance.
Yes.
Somebody with a little more mess
Integrity.
may go a little quicker, and that's fine because it also ends quicker.
Oh yeah.
So keeping the substance will keep you, because this is content too, will keep you together. But like I said, people are fighting demons, fighting everything daily, and they also getting on these cameras acting like everything is great. It hurts to be fake. It is so hard. You can't remember. Like it's just not easy. And so think about being fake for 4 years and being a big content creator, and you making millions. These content creators do. But every day it's a challenge because it ain't you. Yeah, no.
That's what I can't keep up no facade like to me, baby. It's too much for me to keep up in my real life.
Right.
I can't do nothing but be me. I can't put on no facade, baby. No. Y'all gonna be mad. I can't do it. I can't do it. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
What's your the address to Roasted? So where do people?
The address is 1526 the Mumbrian Street, Nashville, Tennessee 37203.
Okay, and what's the hours and what days are you open?
Okay, so we close on Mondays and Tuesdays. We're open 10 to 10 Wednesday and Thursday, 10 to 12 Friday, Saturday, 10 to 8 on Sundays. And that's the best day of my life sometimes.
Now, do they need a reservation or they can show up?
No reservations are needed. We try to keep and do what others don't do at Roasted.
Okay.
And so reservations is one of them that we found that it's a little bit less stressful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta do what works for you. Now tell them one more time where you're located in them hours. We want to get the people in the, not that you have a problem with that, because baby, they be booked me. So I suggest you get there early. What time she said she open at? What time?
10 a.m. every day.
So I expect you to be in line by 9:15, 9:30 so you can get on in the door.
Yes, ma'am. Get on in the door. Yes.
And what is your best seller there? I know everything is good, but what's that one thing they coming for?
I mean, they coming for that chicken for sure.
Look, they got
everything do good because I do analytics on my food, and if it ain't working, it's gone. Everything on there sells well, but that chicken is top. Yes. Honey butter chicken for sure.
Now, what's that I had tried something else before? Was a Gouda?
Chicken Gouda.
Chicken Gouda.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was loud. I'm sorry, y'all. Baby, that chicken Gouda. And then it wasn't a Texas toast. No, my bread was just toasted.
Texas
toast. Texas toast.
Yes.
See, I
extra
told you,
butter.
I don't know my way around the kitchen. Like I don't say what kind of bread was, because I was going to say sourdough, but it was. Ooh, baby, that's so good.
Everybody love the Gouda.
The Gouda fine. Baby, that's fine. And then the pulled on that cheese. Let me stop talking about food because I'm a fat back.
So did you want a fish sandwich today or a Gouda sandwich
I
today?
don't know. I was starting off wanting the fish sandwich. Then I want the Gouda.
Usually she get one thing, I get the other.
That's what you gotta do.
We'll get one. But y'all, support. And you can follow, what's your social media handles?
Roasted Nashville. Instagram is roasted_, and TikTok is roasted_Nashville. Both of them, roasted_Nashville, and Facebook is roasted Nashville.
All right, so y'all make sure to check Chef E out. Any other thing you want to talk about? Anything else you got going on?
Last but not least, I really am passionate about this business coaching. Just want to reiterate that again. Anybody looking for business coaching, you can message me. But other than that,
so do they message you on your personal page or through the Roasted?
Either way.
Okay, either way, it's going to get to us. So make sure you look out for those coaching classes. Now it's time to get into some real talk. Tonight reminded me of something. Sometimes resilience doesn't look like standing on the stage saying, I made it, mama, I made it. Sometimes resilience looks like walking up to somebody and just simply saying, I did what I was set out to do. Or just getting up the next morning and saying, I'm still here. Now what? Chef E's story isn't powerful simply because something terrible happened to her. Her story is powerful because something terrible happened and she refused to give that moment permission to write the rest of her story. And maybe that is the world that we live in, that we start discovering, that we can't allow other people's tragedies to overcome or consume us. That's a word for somebody, baby. You don't have to pretend. She talked about pretending earlier. It didn't hurt you, or that you're living some facade. Let's stop pretending. What is it giving you? What I really want to say is, what's it costing you to be pretentious?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
that was it right there.
What is it costing you? You don't have to pretend you're the same person that you were years ago. You need to focus on what's going on today. How you're going to bounce back. How you're going to be resilient. But you do get to say what happens next. And baby, that next chapter of your life, it can still be extraordinary as well. I am Kiana Scales, and this has been another episode of the I Am Kiana Scales podcast. Real talk, real people, relevant conversations. No gossip, just gems. And Couch Crew, if this conversation gave you something tonight, don't just scroll away. Like this video, share with somebody who needs it. Subscribe to the YouTube and drop those gem emojis. Yeah, go on and drop them for Chef E, because she dropped some knowledge over here. Until next time, keep going, keep building. And when life changes the recipe, don't be afraid to create a new dish. Now that's real talk. Bye, y'all.
That was good. The new dish.
Yes, the new dish. I had to play on that episode title. Yes.